Whoosh! Hey everybody, this is Chad, and today is a request video. But first, I want to announce the winner from the drawing from last video. Congratulations. This person right here, you won. Expect a message in your inbox with info on where to send it and so on and so forth. Way to go. I love doing these drawings, but there will not be a drawing this week. There'll probably be one next week because I really want to make sure I get something cool for you guys. And I'm too lazy to sift through my closet full of Japanese stuff to get something specific this week. But either way, this video was requested by Bridget. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And it's all about the JET program. Spirit fingers. Now some of you might have heard this before, or this is your first time hearing about the JET program, but it is the Japanese Exchange and Teaching Program. I have friends that are in it. I also have family that were in it. I have people that are still in it, that are still over there, as well as all YouTubers I watched usually were in it at some point in their Japan life. So no, I don't consider myself an expert, but I do know stuff. And stuff is what I can give you. Now first, what exactly is the JET program minus the name that I just gave you? Well, I'm just gonna read it off their website. The JET, oh, hold on.
The JET program is an initiative sponsored by the Japanese government to promote internationalization at the grassroots level by bringing young college-educated individuals to work in communities throughout Japan. My God, I am out of breath.
Simplified, it's getting paid to go over to Japan and teach English. The veil has been torn. But on a simpler note, you get paid to go to Japan for a whole year, and you teach English from anywhere from little kids all the way up to college students and adults. It's wherever the Japanese government puts you, as this is their program. Now, before I get into what it's like, I might as well read the requirements to see if I get your hopes up or not. And just so you guys know I'm not freeballing it, I got notes. First thing you have to do is go on their website and fill out an application of theirs, plus submit a medical check. I think if you've had one in the last 2 years, you're okay, but don't quote me on that. The next one, and this is the one that usually stops people, is you need a bachelor's degree. Minimum. They won't take work experience. You need a bachelor's degree, or the equivalent, which I don't really know if there is an equivalent to a bachelor's degree in America. Now that brings me to my next point. You have to be an American citizen. Now, this isn't saying that Australians can't go, because one of my favorite YouTubers, Japan with Regan, link in the description, he's Australian and he did the JET program. But I don't know anything about the Australian JET program or the English JET program. I know the American JET program, so if you're not going to either of those, this will be roughly the same, but look it up on your own. Look up your own requirements. Then you need 2 letters of recommendation, either on an academic level or a professional level, so from a job. Now you do have to be fluent in English and all the subtleties of its pronunciation and that type of thing, so I don't know, don't speak Creole. And then you also have to be able to dedicate 1 year, because that's how long the work visa is, that's how long this trip is. You can always elongate it there, and you actually make more money when you re-sign on in Japan after a year's up. But minimum 1 year to go over. Oh, right, personal statement, something that you write that tells a bit about yourself, why you're going, other boring things that I don't really think that they care to read. I think they just want to make you do extra homework. Now, I think more important than the things that you need is the things that you do not need, but can help. So these are things that are not required to be in the JET program. First, teaching experience. You do not need a teaching degree. You do not need to work with little kids on Sunday school, tell them about Jesus. Okay? It's not necessary. Helps to have that type of teaching experience, might make you picked more often, but it's not necessary. The next one, you do not need to know Japanese fluently. You really don't. You don't need a JLPT. You don't even have to know any Japanese. One of the YouTubers I watch went over there with zero, like literally was learning arigato gozaimasu and like gonbanwa and like the freaking easiest things ever. So you don't need to know it to go over there. They typically, anything that needs to be translated, they'll have translated for you. But knowing how to speak Japanese a bit isn't bad. It helps in a lot of situations over there. I don't know if you've ever been to a market, but that's very helpful. Also, the JET program will want you to exclusively speak English in their class. So they don't, not knowing Japanese can actually help you a bit. Because if I see someone struggling who's Japanese that I try to talk to, I'll try to meet them in the middle with Japanese and English, and that's a no-no there. So if anything, not knowing any Japanese can be a benefit. And the last one's easy, just a background check. Not necessary, but I don't know, maybe if you're sketchy, they'll pull one on you, so don't be a freaking criminal. That's a good idea. Now, as for the JET program lifestyle, it varies tremendously. But there are a couple of constants. You should expect to work 8:30 a.m. to about 5 or so p.m. You also work between 3 and 6 days a week. I know, 6 days a week. But the Japan work schedule is a lot different than ours. Also, you get paid for this, so I think in American it's about 27,000 a year. It's like 3.5 mil yen, something like that. Now, the JET program typically covers your flights. It hooks you up with a place that the money will come out of your paycheck, but it's not that much money. Depending on where you're at in Japan, living expenses can be anywhere between $300 a month US to $500 or $600 a month US. Plan on around $400 to $500 just in case. On top of that, you could be working with little kids to adults, like I said earlier. I've seen mixed patterns with that, be it some days you work with kids, some days you work with adults, sometimes you're exclusively a middle school teacher or a high school teacher. So just be flexible. That's probably the best tip I'd say with this, is just be flexible. Also, I don't think you get to choose where you go. I'm pretty sure you're assigned, and a lot of it, I know a lot of people that go to Nagoya, couple that go to Fukuoka, but the majority stay in those two areas and then around the Tokyo area. But I mean, it can go anywhere from, you know, Hokkaido way up top to Okinawa way south, even though those jobs are fewer and farther between. So I guess, yeah, pack a thick jacket and pack a swimsuit, because you never know where you're going to be going. Now, I'll have friends that are in the JET program in the comment section and on my YouTube, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them on there, and they'll either get to you there themselves or on my account or whatever. Other YouTubers I know that are were either in the JET program or currently in the JET program who I love. Now, I wouldn't send you guys that aren't awesome, so these are really, really good guys. The first one was actually in the program, and it's Japan with Regan. I mentioned him earlier. He's awesome. He doesn't just have JET program videos, he has videos about Japanese culture and getting Japanese people outside of their box, doing English challenges with him like I do in Japan, and man, just all sorts of really cool stuff. He's a great guy. He's Australian, very attractive man, very attractive accent. I don't know why women wouldn't go there. And the next one I'm talking about is Michaela, or Mikaela, if you're typing it in katakana, which is also how her name's typed in. She's awesome. I don't think she was in the JET program herself, but she has a lot of really good information and just really cool cultural stuff anyways. I watch all of her videos. She's really cool. She's actually in Fukuoka, which is the place that I go every year, so rat out. Then there's Charlotte in Japan, who has a lot of JET program videos. Again, I'm not positive if she was in it, but her knowledge base is excellent, so good job, Charlotte. She also does videos like all over the world. Like, she just got back from Frankfurt, Germany. That's a thing. And lastly is Rachel in June. Ooh, no, not lastly, but still, Rachel and June. It is a couple of a girl from America and a Japanese guy who are married, and they just do videos about Japanese culture. They also have a lot of good info on that. The one that I just thought about was Abroad in Japan. He started, I think, doing the JET program, and he has absurd amounts of info on that, on Japanese, learning it, loving it, living it, becoming it. So yeah, those are all really good resources. I'll link all their channels in the description down below. Either way, if this helped you at all, be sure to like the video. That helps me out tremendously. If you guys have any more questions about the JET program that maybe this broad stroke couldn't answer, comment down below. I'll have JET people in there as well as myself and the other people that kind of know what the JET is, I'm sure. If you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel. I put out stuff, not only how-tos like this or infographic stuff, but I put out Japanese culture stuff all the time. My last video was about Japanese baptisms, and I thought it was just dandy. Either way, I put out videos every Wednesday or Thursday if you're in Japan, which is like my second biggest fan base for some reason. And yeah, I hope to see you guys next week and the week after that. Bye guys. Jare.